Yeah, doesn't mind.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Okay.
It's a pretty small electrical room, so.
Yeah, I know.
You good?
Yes, I'm good.
All right, so Rob's Impact Electric. Pretty standard electrical room. It's very congested and tight in here. So let's kind of go through the systems real quick on that. If you guys need, main disconnect for the building is going to be right here. That's going to turn off everything in the building. Over on this side here, you have MD1. This is going to be the disconnect for all the suite panels and the public panels as well. Comes into these two panels here, so these are going to be your two public panels. So everything in these public panels, it's just a standard electrical panel. Breakers trip, they just need to be reset. If it's a recurring issue, obviously call an electrician. All of them have directories in them as well. Throughout the building, you have battery backup units. They've all been tested and approved as of right now. So we've done a 30-minute test on them. They all passed the 30-minute test, so the battery backup on the building is working as intended. As well in this area here, we have a couple disconnects for the elevator. Again, nothing here should ever be turned off. If anything ever turns off, you guys know what to do, call an electrician. I got two more systems in here that I'll go through real quick until I hand it over. Fire alarm panel is just going to be right here. So anything, this is the main fire alarm panel. If there's any troubles or supervisories and alarms, if it goes into an alarm and it's already monitored, it's going to call the fire alarm company. Those contacts should go straight to you guys. Like, this panel right here is the lighting control panel. So as of right now, it's not programmed. So this is going to be for the exterior lights. So once the exterior lights go on the building, Cooper's going to come in here and do the programming for the lighting controls, and then this can be programmed through you guys to turn on and off the outside lights and things like that. But again, right now things are just turned on in the building. It's not programmed until those outside lights go on. They want to come here one time and program it. So
it's programming by like a timer, right?
Yeah.
It's not like a light sensor or...
No, it's programmed by the timer. Yeah,
Okay.
Exactly. A lot of the hallways are just standalone occupancy sensors in like the stairwells and areas. I believe hallways in this building are always on. The majority of this is going to be just for the exterior lights.
Exterior lights, okay.
Is it like the different when there's like a photocell outside? That will be a different one?
Yeah, so this one is going to be able to be programmed, so you can set it to like a time clock.
Okay.
So you once the programming comes in, you can set time of the day of the year, things like that.
I don't think so. No backup power.
No backup power.
Okay.
There's a solar system going in.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not through us. So I don't really know anything about that spec.
Okay.
And I don't.
We need the IP from you to program the panels, right, for the hardware doors. So for offline doors, there is nothing here. You'll just need PPT to program it as usual, you know that. And for hardwire doors, everything is here, right? And you can see all those door numbers as well, so that if you ever have problems with it, you can just come here and see the door numbers.
This one, right?
Yeah. So only this is terminated for now. This one, I've set all the barrier-free switches in this guy, just so it's easier for us to know where the barrier-free switches are, right? That's all about this panel. I think you guys know about it as
Yeah.
well.
For our online locks, what happens during a power shutdown? How many?
So we always have a battery backup for each panel, right? So even if the power goes off, the battery backup will still work.
And rated for how many hours?
I think you'll have to ask Chris about that. He will answer you properly about that. But yeah, battery backup should last you, I think, for, in my guess, for 4 to 8 hours. But he will confirm that. And even if you don't have battery and it shuts down, the doors will still be working, right?
So during shutdown, our main door, which is wired right now, right? Are those normally locked?
During shutdown, it will be normally outside doors. I'll have to see if it's fire doors, then fire rated doors, then it should be unlocked.
So it will be locked automatically.
Unlocked, yeah.
Okay.
So if it has panic bar, it will be locked. You'll just have to press the panic bar and go out, right?
Okay.
If it like outside doors, it'll be locked. Yeah. If it has panic bar.
Do we have keys on those main doors here?
I do have keys.
Okay, so we can bypass it just in case. Okay.
And Chris, do you know how long will the battery backup last?
7 amp hour battery, right? Like, or it's a 7 amp. Let's see.
Here?
Oh, we didn't have the batteries in there yet. I don't think we put the
Ah,
batteries in
see.
there. Yeah, I mean, 24 hours.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
I've never replaced those batteries.
Okay.
How many years after installation do we have to replace it?
You probably want to look at like 4 to 5 years.
4 to 5 years, so we're up now on other buildings,
Yeah.
I guess.
Usually you kind of write the date on the battery.
Mhm.
And you kind of
Yeah.
have the idea.
4 to 5 years.
Yeah, okay. Kind of think like a car battery.
Yeah, when there is internet here, I get that. But when I try to connect it with my controller, I'm not getting anything there, so I will still need to talk to their
Tell expert?
Tell expert,
I'll connect
yes.
with you with the expert.
sounds good. So next time when I'm here, I just, and we'll still need that IP to program these kinds of for IPs. And any other public doors like this one, mechanical room or office, it will work in standard mode. You hit your fob, it'll unlock for a second, it'll again lock itself. But in suites, it's exit to leave. So you will need your fob, when you leave your suite, you'll need your fob to lock.
To lock it.
You guys know already that, right?
Find a water meter, not a whole lot to know about this. Take your meter readings accordingly, whatever they need. Don't touch it, do not cut this strap. Just look at the numbers on the dial, record those, send them off for billing. We also have some pumps in the room under here.
Oh, yeah.
Some pumps are.
I can cut that tape if you need to.
Yeah, I think so. See it up?
Yeah. The groundwater can not be the most pleasant, so.
Some pumps are down here, submersible pump with a float system on it. It's got an extra float for redundancy and a high level alarm. Not a lot to do with the pump itself. There's no real greasing, there's no real maintenance to it. They'll run as long as they can, and eventually the high alarm will shut off, our alarm when the pump is filled. Pumped out to the city service.
Where's the panel for that? The sump pump?
Where is the sump pump panel? That is a good question. The electrician might be able to help you with that one.
Robert,
Yeah, actually sump pump control. The panel itself. In fact, you know what the breaker is? Do you know what the breaker is for this?
The sump pump breaker would be in the public panel.
In the public.
Panels here. Which breaker it is. Weeping pump is 33B here.
Oh, weeping pump, okay.
Weeping pump.
And function room, I think.
Yeah.
On the top.
Yeah, right that way.
Okay. We just have one for the whole building.
That's correct, yeah.
Then each unit has its own electric heater too, right?
Yeah.
How many backflow valves that we have to check every year? Just this
Backflows,
one?
you'll have just the one.
Just
Yeah,
this one?
Just the one to get inspection.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
The one, okay.
yeah, that's on that side there.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Hopefully that should never have water going into it from the elevator pit. So yeah, there shouldn't be much to explain with that one. The only just as we opened up this lid that I'm seeing here, we've cleaned this pit I think a few times, and just as we opened it, it looked like it was pretty grimy in there. So I guess that what I may be thinking is not a lot of new groundwater coming in. I'm sure a lot of that groundwater has dried up and caused it to be kind of sludgy, so that could maybe become a maintenance thing. So I think John Mark will do one more cleanup of this pit, and then that might just be an ongoing. I think we'll take our boots. Yeah, we'll take our boots off to go into this one.
Electrical, so right here, you guys. So every suite layout is slightly different, but they all are going to have an electrical panel. So the electrical panels in the suites are going to control everything. In the suite, they all are labeled and listed for everything that's going on in the suite. Nothing too crazy about it to explain. Standard breakers. All the suites also have IDB panels. That's going to be for the data, for communications. One other thing to note is the suites do have smoke detectors in them. They're not a 10-year battery in these ones, so it's recommended they're replaced every 6 months. that's gonna be a maintenance thing ongoing, typical with every building. HVAC is going to be the AC, it's not by us, but they all have their own standalone units.
You may want to check.
Should have baseboard heaters in all the bedrooms, under windows.
Yeah, the majority of them are wall-mounted baseboard heaters under the windows, and in the bedrooms it's going to be the same install.
And those are all on a knob?
Have a controller.
Yeah, so the bedrooms are going to be controlled through individual knob. There's nothing to explain it. Really else to explain in here. They're all going to have a one strobe in them, and those are the smoke detectors on the walls.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so with this building, part of the new fire code is all of the dampers have to be controlled by a duct smoke detector. So every single damper is going to be controlled by a standalone duct smoke. This damper here is to feed the next suite over. Just for code regulations, we had to put a smoke duct detector within 5 feet of it. So this smoke detector in this room is to feed the neighboring suite. It's not a maintainable battery backup smoke. This is part of the actual fire alarm system. So any of these duct smokes are part of the fire alarm system. And yeah.
Yeah, and the reason I wanted to bring this one up specifically is because we were talking with the engineers about this specific smoke damper because of its proximity to an oven.
Yeah.
We tried to say, hey, is there somewhere else we can put it that you can maybe say yes to? They said it needs to go here. So if someone is cooking up and something smelly and it burns and it creates smoke, it could cause an alarm. So just because of the proximity. So just so
It is a sealed unit.
Yeah.
But smoke can travel through a pinhole, so there is a possibility that this could cause nuisance in the future. The engineer made us install it in this area, so if it's something that's nuisance tripping down the road, that's something you guys on your own can look into.
And this is the only scenario that we have in this building that we wanted to bring this one up specifically. Like, I don't think this is something that you'll find in other areas, but we just wanted to make note of this one specifically. So.
If it gets triggered, do we have to reset it? Is there a reset?
This would trigger the fire alarm panel, so it would put the panel into a full fire alarm. So it would call the fire department and evacuate the building. So it would be a full alarm if this went off.
And would that reflect on the fire alarm panel?
Yes, it would.
Show that's the basement.
It would
damper.
show the number of the damper. The smoke damper. So yeah, it'll show up on the main fire alarm panel as well as the annunciator.
Okay.
Is there any PM that we can do on this smoke detector? Like 6 months maintenance? Yeah.
No, there's no maintenance on them. It should be like the fire alarm company. So once it's on there, it should be good. Yeah. It'd be a standard like public smoke detector essentially at that point.
And all our
Sorry, to go back. It would be tested with your yearly VI, right? You do your verification. So yeah.
And
Exhaust. It's got grease filters below here that you can pull out and clean. Replace if needed, if they get damaged or lost. Yeah, just check those. Well, the tenant will have to be responsible for checking those, but they should be checked on a quarterly basis, to make sure they're fairly clean, free of dust and grease.
this your fan here.
Yeah, start, stop.
It is off.
So all the exhaust ducting, are they all like separate, or do they
The
connect
kitchen
to
itself, the kitchen goes out separate.
Just goes out
Yeah,
separate.
Yeah,
Okay.
all the other exhausts are
Tied in.
ERV. Yeah.
Okay.
Breaker might be off. So it's a basic split. The condensers were located on the roof. Every suite has one. They're set up by the staff there, so you adjust the temperature on the staff here, behind on the wall, up or down.
So you're in? Okay, awesome.
Yeah, Chabot.
Okay, we have to wash it. Like check what? Usually it's every 6 months or every year.
These probably a little sooner because they're not as fine, right? They don't have as much surface area.
Yeah.
So you would probably check these monthly.
Yeah, this month. But after
Yeah.
that, like usually we have to check it every 6 months or.
6 months for a better filter. These are probably monthly, you know, as needed.
Oh.
Monthly.
Yeah, because they don't have much surface area, so it won't take much to cover these filters up and affect the performance of the unit.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't take much dust to clog these up, and it becomes pretty evident because they stop delivering airflow fairly quickly. We also have an integral condensate pump here. This condensate pump will remove all the condensate that comes out during cooling season and pumps it into a central drain. Not a lot to maintain on these, other than the filter itself and controlled by the staff.
Are controlled by the staff, so we don't have a separate remote control for that one.
These ones don't.
Okay, controlled by the staff.
So pump is here in case we need to replace it or it's plugged or what. Do we have how we can get here?
Yeah,
Just
this cover will pop off.
because sometimes okay.
Pump is up in here, you remove this.
Ah,
and the
it's
pump is,
controlled.
yeah, the pump is up in here, remove this, remove the base, and the pump is up in there.
So how it's like remove the base and we have access.
Yeah, you got access to, I take it all apart, but I don't got all my tools with me. You have access to it. The casing's gotta come off to get at the pump itself. The condensate's behind here. These removed, this comes down, comes unclipped, and then the pump is.
You mean this like plastic box we can put
yeah,
it down?
It's inside the casing itself.
Okay.
Yeah, so this whole cover will come off. It's got
Oh, yeah, I
screws
see.
on it, Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but then there's a pump inside. there
With this
next to the
two
pump.
bottom.
Yeah.
And okay.
Yeah. It'll all air down to a certain degree, a certain condition. At that point, it'll stop delivering heat, and that's what the
Yeah,
baseboard
the
will take
baseboard
over
will
after
enable.
that, yeah.
But if it's like we called another room, we have adjustable like
Yeah,
this knob.
Yeah.
This is for the main area.
So the tenants would have the ability to
Yeah,
adjust
change
their
the set points, like whatever set point they want to, like this will be the primary source. If like it's not meeting the set points, then these baseboards will kick in.
For the standard one, it will be the maximum temperature will be until like 24, and then more degrees up
Yeah,
will be
and the
this one.
baseboards will be.
Yeah, down to a certain temperature outside as well, right? It'll only work to about -50.
Yeah, like the system has its own.
Questions? If, for example, this will faulty, so this baseboard turns off automatically, right?
Yes.
If it's, so how we like maintenance can recognize that we have some issues here? Is it some like?
Is there an alarm showing on the JCI system that those aren't?
For these ones, yeah, we do have, like, we can monitor all of them on our end, like on the backend side, on the graphics and everything. And whenever this one will be down, it will be showing on the system here.
If, for example, this will be down, how about if it's, because usually I know weak place, it's a pump here. This can be plugged, and we also will see this error code if it's like, for example.
Probably we'll see like if there are any issues with, you can say, because we are monitoring these ones. So we could see if the unit is down, but if there's any mechanical issue, that would be a separate one.
Okay, it's have to be like some display in basement.
Yeah, like there will be a display. I can just show you on the graphics.
Okay.
Like when it was there, and then like if it will be down, it will show down. But then like to see what's the issue with it, we have to be physically at the unit to see what's the reason behind it.
Okay, thanks.
So at -15C, the secondary unit outdoor would stop, so we wouldn't have air coming from here. This would also stop.
Yes, because they can't deliver any heat. Yeah.
Okay, but would the fan still run?
The fan will still run, but
Okay.
they can't deliver any heat.
Okay, so we just stop there from the condenser side.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, of course, each room's got a fresh air supply. You'll see the grills inside, that comes from the ERV itself, so every living space has one. And the bedrooms as well, and they've been balanced.
and exhausts are in the washroom.
Exhaust in the washroom, also tied in the ERV.
I think here.
All central exhaust.
I believe this one.
So with the BMS, are we just monitoring it without control? Can I control this one remotely from the BMS, or it's just?
We can, I think we can like enable and disable it on the BMS side.
Just on and off.
Okay, so I cannot change the temperature from the BMS.
Should be. We haven't integrated yet these systems, but I can check for those ones if we can
Okay,
integrate.
that's mostly monitoring right
Yeah.
now. Okay.
Like we do have enables for the HRV, like the main unit, and then we can monitor the baseboards as well. And I think so there should be the set points and everything for this one as well.
Okay. Is the thermostat connected to the BMS? Am I able to see the temperature inside the room?
I have to double check for those ones.
I just wondered, it's a bit like complicated how we can adjust temperature. I mean,
It's easier ways, I think. You just slide these one down. up
okay,
and
it's
down.
sensor. Oh,
So yeah, this will, if you will move it up and down, so it will, you can move this. So this is the cooling set point, this is the heating set point. So if you will just raise this one up, so this is 27.5 now, but the space temp is 22.
Is
So
there like a
it
maximum
says-
and minimum on this one? Like,
So this is the heating set point, like it will heat up to 27.
I can go to this 7?
So right now the baseboard should be on because it says auxiliary heating is active.
it shows. Okay.
It says here, aux heating active.
Auxiliary heating,
auxiliary
okay, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you will lower it down, you can say just heat it to 21 or something. So it will just says like here is more just heating.
Just
Yeah.
heating.
So could we, for example, some tenant can put like
The maximum.
maximum. Can we restrict it something like till 27 or temperature, for example, maximum?
I just need to play around these points.
Is it like possible or? Because some tenants can like put 32 or 30 and open the window and we just waste our energy.
Can it be controlled by like Wi-Fi here?
I'm not much sure about these sets because we were not the ones installing it.
Okay.
I just used them to test the baseboards here.
Okay.
But I can try for you. 80.
I worked on the 20 or whatever that are here.
Max is 28.
Sounds like they found the max. It's just a programmable spot in there, but you just leave it at the default.
What? No, it's still changeable here.
Yeah, 16.
Because the away was off before, like the schedule for the away was off, so that's why it was not following these set points. When you change it to on here, then it's just adjusting between these points here.
Away.
Yeah, so between 19 and 28.
Okay, yeah.
And I could try if we can go beyond, but yeah, I
Yeah,
can't
it goes like
change it. Yeah, it's so changeable.
Okay.
Change the
You're
one-
showing me, so,
Yeah.
okay. Away, on and off.
Okay. But this is like just.
So that does the same thing, but it's touchscreen. You can also do this, but it's very slow.
Okay.
So if you just spin it like that, it might not catch up. You might get kind of confused.
Oh,
So it's just a
the
slow.
slow one.
It's almost better to do it on the touchscreen a little bit. But you can use this as like an enter button, I believe, too. Like just to set it, I think. But yeah, the touchscreen is more user friendly than this.
Then the dial one.
Than the dial, yeah, because it uses just like a or not a magnet, but like a light, I guess, that hits like a thing. So it's kind of like slow where all the modes are and stuff like that. So this one's master controlled. So basically, what they can do here is they can either turn their stat off or they can put emergency heat on, which will then turn the baseboards on. But they can't control it from cooling to heating because it's a heat pump system. So the basement, the main floor and the second floor are all on one heat pump. So they have to be running in the same mode. So they all need to be kind of demanding for cooling or heating. So there's a couple of suites. I think we can get you where they are, but they won't say master controlled here. They'll just say like master. And those will be the ones that you'll be able to change from cooling. There is a system that I'll show you on the main floor that kind of automates that based on a voting system. It's not a perfect system for when you have multiple tenants, because as you guys probably know, Sally wants it like 30 degrees and the other one wants it 10 degrees, right? So the best way to do it, and I'll show you how to do it on that main controller, is treat it like a boiler chiller system. So it's like at some point you'll go through and you'll change it over to cooling. And if people don't want heat, they can turn it off. It shouldn't heat then, but it also won't cool. So there'll be like a switch over time where you'll probably find in the spring or the fall where you manually go to that screen and force them all into cooling.
Okay, so we have to, yeah.
You can do that from our remote screen, so you don't have to come into any of the suites. Another thing, I heard you guys ask, they are Wi-Fi compatible, so you can download, like your tenant can download the Daikin One app, can operate it from their phone.
Okay.
But they'll have to, once they get Wi-Fi, I don't know if there's Wi-Fi in the suites, I don't think so included, but once they get Wi-Fi, then they'll have to sign up on the wireless thing, and then they'll be able to link it to their app. It's okay if you got tenants that are staying for a long time. If you got like a high turnover, it kind of gets a little bit annoying to get them on the app, but I think that'll just be like a personal, if somebody's tech savvy and they want it on their phone, then they can do it. Otherwise, it operates 100% from here.
But one app control one T-star.
Exactly, one app controls like that thermostat, specific suite. Yeah.
But removing them from the app, can we do it? Is there like a master? I don't know what you call it.
That's a great question. I'd have to look into all of that. Like I know, like when somebody moves out, do they still have control of it? Likely not, because it'll probably be tied to their Wi-Fi, like somehow, some way. So if you probably register this stat on a different Wi-Fi, if you bring it over to a different app account, then it'll likely kick those guys out. But I can definitely get that answer for you. I don't know 100%, but likely that's how it'll work. Yeah. Other than that, it's just a pretty basic stat like you had seen, up and down. It'll kind of tell you if it's just, so it says circulating air. So right now, it's fan only.
Because it's already reached the set point, I guess.
Yeah, because it's above. Oops, away. Yeah, you wanted that off.
Because we installed 19.
Yeah.
And 22.
So it's above. It's above your 18, so it's in between your 18 and your 27. So it won't try and it'll send a vote to the system once it reaches 27 to say, hey, I could use cooling. And then if the whole building is saying I could use cooling, then they're not majority rules, right? In this system. So if you got 10 stats on one system, it'll need like 5 votes to flip it over. But again, the best way of doing it, just for you guys, that we found in multifamily like this, where you're on a heat pump system, is let your tenants know, hey, we don't have cooling, just like a conventional building. We don't have cooling till May long weekend or whenever you guys decide to flip it over, and then run it that way. It can all be automated, and it is set up to be automated, so if you forget, but the best way to explain it to tenants usually is, yeah, it's, you know, it's 22 in here. It'll be opening windows or whatever to cool off. There's no mechanical cooling until May 11th or whatever it is, or the entire building needs cooling. And then it'll give you, you know, a step-by-step procedure on how to fix it or what to look at, things like that. There's really only a couple other things to talk about as far as maintenance goes. Is each of these fan coils has a filter, so it's a matter of flipping this cover up, and then there's washable filters. So they'll need to get washed, you know, before occupancy type thing. But yeah, it's so you slide them out, put them in the bathtub or the sink or whatever you need to do to rinse them out. They can go back in wet, not a huge deal.
How about this coil during the cool?
So as long as you keep those filters clean, like depending on the suites, you know, you might only have to, we would say like quarterly you'd come in here and you'd wash those. If you keep those clean, then the coil is will stay clean as well. There are like aerosol sprays or anything like that to clean the coil, like with a no rinse sprays.
In mold cases, because sometimes I have some experience to maintenance this.
Yeah, sometimes they get a little bit like black. They got that black kind of stuff in there. Yeah, so you can rinse those down. There's a drain pan in the bottom that takes care of your condensate, and you can.
So just spray it with mold control or something.
Yeah, you could do that too, or even like a spray water bottle. Like it doesn't need to be like a high pressure. You don't have to pressure wash them or anything. But if you're finding that they're getting dirty, then yeah, you can rinse them off with a cleaner or whatever you need to do.
Okay.
There is a condensate pump. So the ones that you see that have tubing like this have an internal like a condensate pump that's installed behind here that has a float. So there's a particular alarm, I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it'll tell you like a float alarm. So if you're overfilling that float, there's a little ring that comes up and it says, hey, it shuts it down, gives an alarm. You may have to, these are just kind of on a hinge, not a hinge system, but it's on a bracket on the wall to get access to that thing. You may just have to pull the float out, clean it out, and get any gunk or anything.
Yeah, so like explain, we have to remove this cover and put here.
So it'll be this cover here essentially. There's a few screws in the front. It should just kind of pop out, and then you should be able to get access to you know, your refrigerant lines and stuff that run in here. The pump is sitting just in there. So the water drains from the drain pan. It comes into a float. As soon as that float level rises, the pump starts, it pushes the water out. So if you've got like a blockage here or in the tube or something like that, then your float level will rise to a point where it gives you a float alarm, and then it'll shut the unit down. So then you'll know, hey, I gotta take a look at my condensate pump, see if my pump's working or if the float is stuck or something. Those are really the only a couple of things that you would need to look at for like a maintenance-wise point on the units. As far as indoor units, we can go up and look at show you where
these pipes specifically in the basement, due to height restrictions that we don't have on other floors, they're particularly low in comparison to other floors. They are of a code-compliant height, but just from a maintenance standpoint, conversation with your tenants standpoint, make sure you're really communicating with them not to touch them. They're painted red to clearly indicate what they are and their importance. Yeah, under no circumstance should they be touching them or hanging off them. If these pendants were to get hit and the glass bulb were to break, that would obviously cause an alarm in the building. So just wanted to make note of that. On this floor, basement specifically, they're low. So just that'll need to be communicated with your tenants.
The emergency shutdown for this water line will be outside.
That could be in the stairwell. I think I'd have to. I think when we walk there later, we'll take a look. Our sprinkler fitter isn't here at the moment to really speak to that, but I think most shutdowns on a floor-by-floor basis are on the east standpipe. I think that's where they should have the shut-offs for each floor. So.
Okay.
If I connect this over here, can I go all the way up here?
Yeah,
Or it's too
yeah.
far,
Yeah,
too high?
yeah. Can we do that much? There should be enough pressure in the water line
Yeah.
itself to be able to overcome that.
Okay, so I'll just.
And
go
yearly, like they recommend.
Yearly.
They say yearly to flush your hot water tank. I know a lot of people don't, but it should be done yearly.
And we have keys for all the hot water tank doors.
Separate key.
Yeah, separate key. We have two hot water tank doors in the building right now. Don't have a key knob, which we are working on getting from Almar. But yeah, we would turn all those keys over to turnover.
This is that main panel that I was telling you guys about, that has control of all of the different suites. So you'll notice that there's an error code. So this is like a triangle. So I've noticed just from when I was here earlier, it seems to be from the 3rd, 4th, 5th floor. I think they're painting those suites or something's going on there. Where this U9, even if you just do a quick Google search, Daikin U9, it'll tell you that it's a loss of communication between the indoor units and the outdoor units. So there's a possibility that these suites, the units got powered down for whatever reason, and it may just take time for them to start, re-talking back to one another. But if there's one suite that's out, then you can go into the details here, thermostats off. You could manipulate just set points and heating set points and fan speeds for that single unit. So you go to each one. Like let's just do this one for instance. Cool set point, you want to change the cool set point 75, you can do so. The heat set point you want to change to 70, you could do so there. You could turn the unit off. So you'll notice that it'll go from a green block to a gray block if it's off. It is a little bit slow, so you just got to give it some time, but eventually it'll go gray and then go green once you put it back on. If you go into the settings here, there's other things that you could that you can prohibit, you can set up to change. Like set point restriction is likely something that we'll implement into there, because you guys were talking about that. Might be able to just broadcast a set point restriction to all of the well, that one hasn't gone gray yet, but
Quick questions, because our thermostat shows Celsius degree, and this shows Fahrenheit. Can swap it?
that's a great question. I think I can swap it
For better understanding.
Yeah. Can't remember where I do that. I'll have to look in to see if I can do that. Might have to get into the service menu to do so, but we'll look at that. So if you hit the top button, that brings you to the screen where it shows you all of them, at which point you can broadcast whatever you want to all of them. So if you wanted to say, hey, I want all of them on, I want all of them operating and cooling, I want my cooling set point to be 72, I want my heating set point to be 69, go to my AC, I want to restrict how high or low they can go. So what was the number that you guys wanted them to be able to restrict to?
Maybe highest 20.
84.
No, maybe 26.
26?
Our highest is 24. Then if there's any request, we just bump it to 26. But that request has to be requested from us.
You said 24 Celsius?
Yeah, it's 24.
5. And then your cooling limit, how low you want it to go, is probably like, sorry? 18?
18, yeah.
Then you can basically, this RC prohibit is if you, you can allow them to change set points. Like you want them to be able to change set points. You want them, maybe not necessarily depending on how you're working it, change operation modes and on off permit. So most of those are okay.
So permitted, it means if we are allowed to change.
Permit means that the thermostat, you're giving them permission to turn it on and off. You're giving them permission to change the set point.
Okay.
And you're giving them permission to change the mode. Although there's only 2 suites in the whole building that can manually override the mode. So if you're finding like one person is always changing it to cool or something, you can go into here, hit prohibited. So you hit operation mode prohibit, hit OK, perform startup. Then what it should do is it should broadcast all of those points out to your system. So now, hold on, we gotta go back to top because I did notice something here. So I want a minimum cool heat differential of 1 degree. So let's modify that one to, let's do that 75 and heat down to 70. AC, change fan speed, blah, blah, blah. The set point restrictions are still enabled, so they can only go within those limits. The RC prohibit is still the same. We go through, and then what we should see is that we have a cooling set point of 71, a heating set point of 70. Oh, I think it changed on me here, sorry. There, now we got a cooling set point for all of them. 76, heating set point 75, because it's doing that 1 degree deadband. So if you want more degrees deadband, you can always change it in there. This tells you what the temperature of the room is. So this room 74.7. And you'll get a list of what these numbers are associated to what suite. That'll be a part of your OEM startup manuals. It just gives you a lot more information over here that you don't necessarily need. It just gives you lots of information, but most of the screens that I work in are going to be this. So these are your set point restrictions that are on all of them now. Basically, this is where I'll look. What's the temperature in the room? What's my cooling set point? What's my heating set point? And then it'll also tell you which mode each of the units are in. So we've basically flipped them now all to cool. So now the building will be in cooling mode. Won't have to change it till the fall or whatever when you get into heating mode. See? You can also, if you're ever in like this icon screen and you're like, well, how do I get to that menu that Ryan was showing me? All you have to do is hit the list button, then it gives you options. So
Okay.
this 201, what this changeover option means is that that one is the master for that zone. So that's the only one that can do a changeover. And then there's a changeover for 1-00. Again, you'll get those numbers referenced to a suite on a sheet that you probably will just print a copy of and leave in here, and then have one at your office or whatever.
Okay.
That means that we have two outside.
You have two outside units, yeah,
outside,
exactly.
Because you have the two.
Because you have the two different zones.
Two different zones. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna leave this U9 on you guys just to make sure that all of the indoor units are back powered up. If it stays like that, then let us know. But usually that's what a U9 means, is somebody shut the power off. If you ever do have a situation where these won't go away, a standard procedure would be to go and shut all the indoor units off, shut your outdoor unit off, turn all of your indoor units on at the breakers, and then turn your outdoor unit on. What it'll do is that'll reinitiate like a search for all of the indoor units. They'll start talking again, and then likely that goes away. So if you guys are finding that all of the breakers are on, these don't come away, let us know, send us an email, and then we'll come do that procedure where we shut all the fan coils down, shut the outside unit off, turn them all back on, and then it'll go out and kind of, sometimes it gets stuck in this mode, even if you do put the breaker off and then back on. Sometimes it just takes like a full reset, which likely is what maybe is happening here. So your other system is good, all green, good to go. And then this one.
What is the use for under the is it like RC provision? There's like a system recovery. No, under AC. That setback recovery. What's the use of that one?
Setback recovery temp. That's a good question. I've never actually ever used that. It's probably like, I'd have to look in the manual to be 100%. I don't want to give you bad information. Based on what it sounds like is that it'll probably keep it within, even if you had a setback, somebody set a setback to like 10 degrees, it'll probably throttle it back to that 4-degree setback so that you're not chasing yourself back. Because like a lot of the times the best thing with heat pumps, like most people are like, you know, at home you want to put, like when you're away, it drops the temperature, I'm gonna save all this energy, and then when I come home it's gonna come back on, or like when you're sleeping or whatever. Heat pumps work a little bit different because heat pumps are most efficient when they run steady. So if you give it like a set point and it just kind of runs at 50% capacity instead of 0 and then 100, it's actually more efficient for the heat pump to run at 50% all day long. So again, I can get that answer for you, but it's probably just having you guys have a little bit of control to limit that setback. Yeah, so the tenant can't put it to 60 and then all of a sudden want it at 75 when they get home, because that heat pump's gonna, I don't want to say struggle, but it's gonna have a hard time. It's gonna take a long time for it to go from 60 to 75 potentially, right? So I think that's what that is. Setback, set points. So we don't necessarily have a schedule pre-programmed in there, but that's something that somebody could set up on the app, right? If they get the app, they could set up a set point. But this one here is not forcing a setback, because basically anytime that it goes into a setback mode, it sends it these different temperatures, and then the system just sends that out to them. Yeah, it's like a filter sign reset. So if you're getting like a filter sign on things, you could click that and hit reset OK, and then it'll go through.
And after some time, it will remind us, like, or
Yeah,
or
it's just like a timing thing. So like on the stats, I don't know if those Daikin 1 stats will do it, but you might get a on the icons it shows up a lot more like this one here. So 1-113, you see how it's got that like mesh thing in the corner? That's basically telling you that it's time to wash that filter. So it doesn't affect operation, it doesn't do anything, it doesn't really alert the customer. It's just more of a visual for you guys to be like, oh, it's time, this one's, because all of them aren't on, I'm assuming it's based on runtime. So it's 1-113 is ran, it's however many hours that it says, hey, you probably do a filter. So if you wanted to globally reset them, you hit the top, go into that setting, filter reset, and then it'll just reset the timer for all of them. What the error information is, AC error detected, error U9, and then you got to search up that error code and kind of figure out what it is.
Take it along.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, this is the ERV, which is energy recovery ventilator. I'm kind of short, sorry. Right. Would have been helpful, right? This is the ERV, energy recovery ventilator. I need help here, Brad. I don't know which way he's open. I need to see if it could have been open, right? Go in here. We have heat exchanger cores. One of the responses for bringing the exhaust air from the building to all the bathroom common areas, running it through the cores, and then dumping it outside. The other set of cores will be running fresh air back from outside into each suite, including the common areas, the bedroom. Instead of bedroom here that rotate back and forth and change the direction of air, so the exhaust is not always the exhaust, the intake's not always the intake. So it'll exhaust for a while, it'll flip and go back on the intake. Goes back and forth. And then it's picking up the heat off these cores. So the exhaust goes through these cores, picks up that heat, the fresh air crosses across them, picks up that heat and it blows in the air and then reverses the other way. There's sets of filters here, there's one up here, there's one down here. Note the sizes of them.
Very size. Can I move? It's the same, right?
Yeah, they're the same. There's also a duct heater in this system here, which is this. This duct heater is responsible for tempering the air before it goes into the building. At minus 30, minus 25 degree day, you're not going to pick up a lot of heat off the exhaust. So this is here to kind of boost that heat up so it's not coming in cold. It's all ran by the central control here. Not a lot of settings on here that you can change. It's already set to run at a certain temperature, certain speed, all the time. It's tied to the BMS system, which Gabriel can tell you the set point. But if there is an error with it, it'll show up on this screen here. An error code, you can hit the button here, that's to kind of tell me what that is saying. It'll pop up and it'll tell you what the problem is. It'll do the damper linkages, plug filters, low airflow, bad, the duct heater not responding as it's supposed to. But yeah, all the error codes show up on here, and the error codes will be also in the IOM manual you get for the entire system. Quarterly you want to change these filters out every quarter. Have a look at them, change them out. While you're doing that, there is grease pistols on the floor. You might want to take a look at the grease in. Those probably don't need greasing as much as the normal blower does. It's a different style blower. But just be mindful there is grease pistols on both blowers. And the linkages. Kind of shake the linkages, make sure everything's kind of tight. Again, if the linkage don't prove, that switch won't prove, it'll throw an error code. Those will go back and forth every 30 seconds-ish. Back and forth, back and forth. So there's a lot of movement there yearly. Check those linkages, change the filters, check for grease still on there. Need some grease, give it some grease. Put the filters back in. On off button here. Right now it's set for heat mode. want to go into the password setting? Right through here. Might need a few seconds to cool down, calm down, and it'll shut down. You can wash down the internals. If there's a mess, there's drain pans in each. The drain pans, I have to come back and cap those.
Okay.
So when it's running in winter mode, there will be a little bit of frost that builds up in these cores. And as the heat goes across, the frost will drip off. And the manufacturers, there's not enough frost due to it being an ERV, which is not quite an HRV. There's not a lot of condensate. So the pans will be sufficient enough to have the condensate sit here and evaporate. The pan's there for mostly cleaning. When you clean the internals, you hook up hoses to the two drain pan connections, which are here. I'm gonna put caps on them, but you know, if you feel the need to clean the inside with spray, water, hose, you'll be able to do so, and it will drain out to wherever the drain.
So
water.
to remove it, like we can hook it.
Yeah, you gotta hook it, pull it out. The whole core will slide out. There'll be multiple cores in there.
No any locker, right?
There's no locker. No, they're just sliding cores. And again, in the IOMs, will show you the procedure on how to do that. Yeah. So there's not a lot in here. This complex is a DX system. Just the filters, make sure the linkages are tight. The grease nipples on the blower. These here probably don't have much of a grease nipple because these are new blowers. They're independent sealed bearings. And make sure the cores are kind of clean. Slide them out, take a look, change the filters, and turn it back into operation. Ainsworth will know a little bit more about the set points and the current set points of discharge air temperature it would set for right now.
With this ERV?
Yes, this is the only damper section here. It pulls air from the suites constantly and then dumps air into the common areas constantly. Yes, this is the only set of dampers.
Is this connected to any smoke detector?
This,
Nearby?
that's fire alarm shut down. So if fire alarm
Fire
triggers,
alarm.
it shuts this down.
Okay, but do we have like a smoke detector nearby here that may trigger that one to close?
No, it's the entire fire alarm system.
It's the entire fire alarm system.
Yeah, fire alarm triggers, it shuts this down.
Okay.
Yeah. The heat bank is faulty. You'll know because it'll be cold air being delivered. And now you can't service that. There's not much service in there.
So Brad, basically on this building, do we have any natural gas?
No,
Or
natural
not
gas.
at all, right?
Not at all.
It's all electric.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's the basic operation of the ERV. Any questions on this one? Can't remember her name. Do you remember her name?
Schwinder.
Heather, do you know what the set point is for discharge air on this?
Currently set to 21.
21 degrees.
Standard with our other
Yeah,
buildings.
so the duct heater is gonna make up whatever it can't recoup from the exhaust. The
Okay.
duct heater will,
But we can adjust it through BMS, like to
Yeah.
the one
Yeah,
thing.
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
How about in cooling mode?
In cooling mode, this still runs. Yeah.
So do we have a set point there during summer that we have to maintain that air temperature inside the building?
I'm sure you can adjust that. I don't know if there's a summer, winter changeover.
Is this connected to any condenser?
No,
The system?
no.
Ah,
Strictly
okay.
fresh air. Yeah, by code,
Okay.
you,
So if it's hot outside,
it's gonna be bringing in whatever that. air
whatever
is
that
outside.
air is,
Yeah,
that will be
yeah.
okay.
It's not delivering much air to each suite. You're looking at like 30, the balance report shows it's not much air, but it will be bringing in some humid air in the summertime for sure.
Yeah, it can be stuck
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
no condenser here, yeah, they won't condition it, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I'll just take note of that one.
So
Yeah,
you're gonna
it is.
complain about the hallways really hot, so
Yeah,
there's nothing you can do.
not much you can do, yeah. 21's probably the set
50%.
point, you'll leave it at that for the entire year, because come the summer. The dampers will start to open. When it proves, we'll go through its checks and balances, and then the blowers will start and cover. It's a pull out,
Okay.
yeah. Got so I get 2 capsules, but I thought the capsules are stationary. Yeah, they put them in every carcass. This is not quite HRV, so it doesn't generate as much. But
There's like this one, no need for it to put a breeze in here.
sorry?
There's
No,
like a
there's no
need for-
breeze, no.
No, this is that one.
Yeah.
Even that one, right?
Yeah, there's no breeze nose either. Door blowers.
Pull in outdoor air.
Yeah,
Is it on the ground level or on the rooftop?
it is just above ground level.
Is it just above ground
Yeah,
level?
yeah.
Okay. It's like a gooseneck there.
That's except stool height, it's just a grill.
Or just a grill?
Yeah. the wall, yeah.
You want to check those as well for
Yeah.
debris and
Yeah.
bags and
That's
that.
right. Mhm.
Like I said, it's not always exhausting and it's not always intaking, so they go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So the little less stuff builds up on it because if you have constant pulling in, you're gonna have constant bags, debris gathering up in the one and not the other. But yeah, it goes back and forth. But you do check them.
Yeah.
The type of filter that you installed there, would it diminish some smell?
No, those aren't carbon filters.
It's
No.
not are we able to put in carbon filter if in case we feel that there's
You
something
probably
quite
could.
smelly?
You probably could get some carbon filters for them.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as you maintain the MERV rating on these filters, because
Mhm.
that'll affect the balance if you change the MERV rating. But yeah, they probably do offer carbon filters if you need the.
Okay. Some videos. So unit 5, many, it's just important. So this, yeah. So this valve is from outside water.
Speak up. Outside.
Yeah. So it's going to be like close and open every 6 months, like whatever. It's unit 5. Yeah.
Just right up there.
It's in the office.
space.
Valve for outside water.
So it's a typical Mircom interphone. I'm sure you guys have probably dealt with these things in the past. The operation of it will be in the O&M manual for instructions on how to program it. The way that this is equipped as of right now, per your guys' direction, it doesn't unlock the door, so it's only going to phone the suite. Okay. So as of right now, it's not doing anything. Once it's programmed, once you have tenants moving, you can go through the operations menus. So it'll be a matter of just 9999, and then if you want to go to configuration, 3333 is the factory thing, and then you can go through the database. So database will be number 2. Sorry, you gotta go down, and then you go add record, and that's where you would add the tenants into that. So you'd add their name, their unit number, and then their phone number, and then when they go to phone them, it would phone just their line, but they wouldn't have the ability to open the door. Open the door. Okay. So that's kind of what you guys had wanted. So they have to come down and open the door. So again, it's all pretty much set up for you guys to program. We don't program it. We don't know the phone numbers or anything, the tenants. So the instructions for that will be in the O&M manual if you guys need as well. I didn't change any of the passcodes or anything. And then one other thing I can mention, I guess, is for mail for the system. I don't know if you guys are planning on giving the courier a key or what your plan is for the mail. Sometimes we use the mail slot where they have their key, they come and install their own mail. But because it's not programmed to open the door right now, it wouldn't do anything. So that's something that you guys will have to figure out with the mail courier.
It is going to be couriered to cumulative 454. Yeah. So they're not coming inside.
They don't come in screen from the main fire alarm control panel. So it's typical when you come in the building. So it's where the fire people would come in and see that where the alarm is. You guys could also see from here. It'll do an audible alarm and it'll show on the screen as well. And then one more item in this area is going to be the heat trace is plugged in up here. So this drain line here goes through the exterior wall and drains out. So it was an extra that we had to add on a heat trace. So there's a heat trace wire that runs along that pipe through the exterior wall and out. No maintenance to do or anything, but it's a self-regulating.
Is this a separate unit? Like a fan coil unit?
Yes.
Ah.
They may be able to ask.
Yeah.
Fan coil?
Yeah.
What do you do in this area?
I saw that.
Do we have a separate thermostat for this?
That's right behind there.
Oh, is that one? Okay.
So this one as well, like? No, it's like automatic. Oh, it's like
I believe they're interlocked, yeah.
interlock.
The only difference about this style here is to get to the filter, there's 2 buttons here, and then it drops down and it's still a washable.
Oh, it's a washable filter.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh, so it's that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Thermostats.
All right.
Anything special with this?
Other, like just maintenance wise, once a year likely you're gonna take the pressure washer and wash the condenser coils. On the inside there's like a board here that will give you any codes or anything like that. So there's just one screw for this panel, and then there's a little like peephole or whatever to look in. But everything that you get from here essentially will be on that panel. So shouldn't ever have to come up here other than to do the maintenance on it, and just know where they are so you can send your contractor or whoever's working on them to look at them. But yep.
If we turn off the system, if we are going to wash the coils,
Yes.
we have to turn it off.
Yeah. There. So.
Oh, this is two breaker. Okay.
As it comes down onto the snow, it's just going to make a
Build
big
up a
block of ice. So
Okay.
something to look at. Each location is totally different on how snow builds up. You can tell that snow stops in that corner the most, but yeah, just make sure something to note is that if you're seeing snow, you get a big dump of snow, maybe just come out here and check it, make sure it's not kind of overlapping the roof.
This void is intentionally just to allow for that ice
Yeah.
buildup, right? So that void needs to be kept clear.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a fan, right? On top?
Yeah, there's two
Okay.
fans
There's
on
two fans in there.
Like heat go inside the unit.
Yeah, and there will be like the engineers will have designed a time for the heat pumps to lock out, and then it'll be 100% baseboard. So there's minus 20. That might be the point. At which point then your baseboard's just
Yeah, that would be the one.
Yeah.
The secondary. Yeah.
In the project, do we have some fans here or?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be okay.
yeah. So that might change how your snow flows, right? The wind probably took your snow to that corner, so just be mindful that you'll have to. Basically what happens is anytime that I think this is the one.
It's off right now. I
This is the one
apologize.
that's off,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm connecting the makeup water line as we speak. But
So that's probably that's probably why we're getting that alarm.
yeah.
This one's off.
It'll be on within I'd say about an hour and a half.
Yeah, no, you're good, man. We were wondering why we were getting a communication alarm. I was like, it's probably a unit off, so
Yeah.
that just proves it, right? So, shouldn't have to touch anything necessarily as far as programming wise. It'll show you what the set point of the water is. What this thing does is when the heat pump's in heating, if it can, it'll preheat your hot water to save energy using the refrigeration system as opposed to sending hot gas out to the condensing unit. Or, sorry, in cooling, I guess, it could use it as a condenser, and then also in heating, it could use it as an evaporator if it needs to preheat. If it's got some of that extra energy that it can use from the refrigerant, it'll do it through this box to preheat some of your water. So
preheat water is water only for laundry, right?
I don't. Is this the whole domestic hot water?
No.
Or is it just laundry?
Just for laundry.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
so holding tank just for laundry.
okay.
Yeah. So. Any alarms or anything you see on here again will be outlined in the IOM, but.
So just clarify. So heat pump system have like sometimes dump heat or cooling or cold, right?
Yeah, so it's always rejecting one of the two. So if you're in cooling mode, it's cooling your space, but then it's taking that heat and it's putting it outside.
Yes.
Whereas if in cooling, it could. Sorry, this would be only in heating because it's not a 3-pipe system. But in heating mode, it'll flow refrigerant through here. It'll preheat your water so that you're not using electricity to preheat it.
Okay.
In cooling mode, it doesn't do as much because this will be cold refrigerant, so it'll just be shut down. In heating mode is when you'll be able to use some of that extra energy to like recover back into the hot water.
I mean, in cooling mode, it's give more warm, right? So it will be heat up in cooling mode or on not.
No, in cooling mode it won't preheat because it's just taking it's just taking your hot refrigerant and warming up the water in here. So
okay.
in heating mode, this will help save your.
Oh, okay.
So, 8 months out of the year when the building's heating, then you get a little bit of energy savings on preheating the water.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
This is kind of, we've installed these washer dryers, ducting's all put in, water piping is in. How the cache interacts with these, I think that still needs to get.
Is it through Midland? Who's your contractor here? National Sales? Or
Well, National Sales supplied it.
okay.
Yeah, so we just did the installation of the appliances. So I guess the programming, kind of here on out,
Yeah,
you guys will take care of.
So the exhaust just goes out to the side of the building.
That's right. So.
Do we have additional fan somewhere on this exhaust, or it's just like automatically?
No makeup air for this. No makeup air for this room.
Yeah. Not sure if we have anything specific to go through now, like from a mechanical or electrical standpoint. Is there anything you can think of?